Let's review English fourth quarter. Which among the following is not a way to determine the relevance and truthfulness of ideas listened to? A. Trusting the speaker. B. Checking the timeliness of the idea. C. Analyzing arguments and evidence provided. D. Doing a background check on the speaker, credentials. Which of these responses expresses disagreement most strongly? Do you remember our history lessons at school? Most of what they taught us was completely useless, wasn't it? A. I don't know. I don't think it's fair to say that actually. B. I take your point, but that was probably because of the way it was taught. C. That's true, but I think it's taught a bit differently nowadays. D. You've got a point there, but the problem was that the teachers didn't really show how it was relevant to us. Whenever other people share their ideas, how do you check their relevance and truthfulness? A. I listen and respect their ideas. B. I validate their ideas by checking other sources. C. I stick to my beliefs regardless of others' ideas. D. I tend to pretend that I'm listening. Which of these ways of agreeing is least appropriate? The traffic in town is worse than ever today. A. You're telling me, it took me ages to get home from work. B. You can't say that again, it took me ages to get home from work. C. I agree entirely, it took me ages to get home from work. D. It certainly is, it took me ages to get home from work. What is the conversation about? A. A school outing. B. A plan to go swimming. C. A marriage proposal. D. Tourist spots in the country. Why did Clay disagree to Fidel's suggestion to go to La Jolla Beach? A. Because it is expensive. B. Because she's been there before. C. Because she finds it exhausting to travel. D. Because she doesn't want to spend the long weekend with Fidel alone. If you were Fidel, what would be your response to Clay's suggestion? A. Are you serious? I would love to. B. Isn't that place dangerous? C. Are you out of your mind? That place is disgusting. D. Maybe we could ask Basilio and Crispin if they have other suggestions. Which of the following statements expresses agreement? A. I agree, that's a good place. B. The place is good and Instagrammable. C. May I suggest the Dolomite Beach? D. But it's too far from Manila. Which word in the line, I agree that's a good place, but it's too far from Manila, denotes disagreement? A. Agree. B. But. C. Far. D. Too. Which of the following is not a way for you to validate the evidence? A. Check the domain name. B. Evaluate the credibility of the source. C. Refer to the number of likes and shares. D. See if the date it was published is recent or updated. Which of the following shows that the evidence you listened to lacked validity? A. The evidence is presented with a rational argument, b. The evidence is consistent with other credible sources, c. The evidence is published in a peer-reviewed journal website, d. The evidence is a compilation of anecdotal/journaled experiences of the speaker. How can you validate the credibility of the source? A. From his/her line of expertise, b. Based from his/her reputation, c. According to social status, d. In reference to his/her face value. In determining the validity of the evidence listened to, why is it important to check the credibility of the source? A. To see how popular the source is, b. To check if the source is trustworthy, c. To be able to provide proper citation, d. To see loopholes to the source's credibility. Why is someone considered not a credible source even when he/she is well educated? A. Due to the reason that he/she may not be an awardee when he/she graduated, b. Because his/her degree was not aligned to the topic he was discussing, c. Since he/she may not be that famous enough to listen to, d. For the reason that he/she did not graduate from a prestigious school. What should you do to the pieces of evidence which were not validated yet? A. Do further research, b. Do not do anything, c. Upload in scholarly journals, d. Share it to social media and wait for netizens to comment. Misinformation and disinformation are rampant online. How do you prevent yourself from being influenced by such irrelevant and untruthful ideas listened to? A. I prevent that by accepting any idea that sounds credible to me. B. I prevent that by dodging conversations that may challenge my disposition. C. I prevent that by doing a fact check to the claims or arguments of the speaker. D. I prevent that by overlooking pieces of evidence that contradicts my disposition. Which of the following is not an important point that you need to consider ascertaining the relevance and truthfulness of the material you listen to? A. The credibility of the source of the material. B. The date when the material was published. C. Popularity of the material on social media. D. The accuracy and consistency of the information presented in the material. Which of the following is not an important point that you need to consider ascertaining the relevance and truthfulness of the material you listen to? A. The credibility of the source of the material. B. The date when the material was published. C. Popularity of the material on social media. D. The accuracy and consistency of the information presented in the material. For the next questions, practice your reading skill, read, comprehend, then answer.